Alright, what is up guys? VV back with another video. And in today's video, guys, we're going to be going over how to build on a budget. And it's going to mainly focus on yellow decks. And this is all OP-05 in the West currently at the time of me recording this. And this is all, at the time of me recording this, whatever the prices are is what they are. So if they change in the future, I do apologize, guys, in advance. Because I have done a building on a budget video in the past, and the cards are way different prices now. But for the time being, I think this one, for the time being, I think this is going to help a lot of new players get into the game. And that's who this video is geared towards. If you're a newer player and you think One Piece is way too expensive, I'm right there with you. It is very expensive, and I've been one to complain about it being too expensive, at least certain cards. I think there needs to be a balance where there does need to be some type of investment there so the secondary market can flourish, so that way they can produce more cards and so on and so forth. There's a whole business model behind it. But I think today's video, I'm going to be trying to make, or I made some decks that are going to run you under $30. And no, they're not S tier, okay? But they are the beginnings of an S tier deck, because that's one of the main reasons we're looking at Katakuri here and Enel, because currently in the meta, in the, like I said, at the time of me recording this video, I hate to sound like a broken record, but these are very much high A tier or S tier decks, depending on who you ask. And the cards I'm telling you to pick up in this video for the newer players who are interested in getting into One Piece or interested in getting into yellow, you'll see what I'm saying. These cards I'm telling you to get, half of them translate over to the main, deck. So let's go ahead and dive into it, guys. Of course, I've got Black Yellow Linlin up there just to kind of show how it applies to multiple different kinds of decks. Whenever you're building on a budget, I'll go back to the Linlin list in a second. Whenever you're building on a budget, these vanilla cards are your absolute best friend. I'm talking about Charlotte Opera, Charlotte Perospero, the 6 cost 8k vanilla, and Randolph, the 5 cost 7k. These cards are absolutely huge when building a deck because, number one, they work as placeholders for the cards that will go there, the better cards that should be there. But for the time being, they are the most cost-efficient card you can put in that slot. And they're also, like 5 cents a card. You can bum these off anyone and make it as cheap as you can imagine. But notice this is Katakuri / Enel. It's just whatever leader you want to run here. Because look at the cards that are in this list, guys. Strusen, that's just a good 2k counter for Big Mom Pirates. Shirahoshi. And I do apologize about the quality, guys. I'm zoomed in. But Amande, Thunderbolt, Elthor, 200 million Voltamaru, Holy Gadatsu Ohm, Shura. This is the whole Sky Island combo here. Half the Big Mom combo. Enel, Randolph, Perospero. And I'm going to be playing this in a part 2 of this video. I want to make this part 1 all about just building on a budget, what to buy. But part 2 is going to be me playing this deck, on the sim, like playing it for exactly what it is in the version you're seeing right on the screen, the budget version. Now, at the top here for anyone interested in getting into Black Yellow Linlin, you guys know I'm a Black Yellow Linlin enthusiast, so I have to mention this. But look at the cards I'm asking you to pick up in this list. And I have games on this as well, by the way, on the sim. So 2k counter Khalifa, Fukuro, it's got Bartolomeos, Thunderbolts, Truno Bastardos, Amarus. It's got the one-legged toy soldier. Isho is at least as good as a 2 of in any deck that runs black, because of the discard effect. But it's just a good cheap boss monster for this budget deck. So all right, so look at these 2 lists here, guys. How expensive do you think this deck would be to build? Like, pause the video for a second if you have to. Do some guesswork. I'm going to wait like 2 seconds, and I'm just going to show it because you can pause it if you need longer. Okay? Well, that's how much they cost. Let me move my big head out of the way. I'm just going to show y'all because it's easier to do it like this. So $17.50 for this deck at the bottom, $16 for the deck at the top. Guys, it does not get much cheaper than that. Let's just be honest. It does not get much cheaper than that. Now, let's focus on picking one of the leaders. Right, like say you want to go as Enel or as Katakuri. Well, here you go. Here's the Big Mom Pirates package that you'd want to run in Katakuri. And look what all's in here, guys. Smoothie is just a poor man's is a poor man's Charlotte Cracker. And these vanillas are just solid, by the way. You got 4 cost 6k Opera, 6 cost 8k Pero, 5 cost 7k Randolph. And you got the Enels. Because Enel is actually a very cheap card at the time you're recording this video. That might change, so get them while they're cheap. But it's like $2 a card. You know, that's for a super rare, can't really complain much about that. But it's running Puddings. It's running the Shirahoshis. These, you'll find these in a lot of yellow decks. Amande, Strusen, like we already talked about. 2K counter Sanji, the Thunderbolts, Elthors, and Marus. And then at the bottom here's your just standard Sky Island package, right? I mean, it's running everything for the most part, but it doesn't have the top end. And we'll talk, at the end of this video, we will also talk about the upgrades. We'll talk about upgrades. But at the very end, you know, this is just going to be a part 1 video talking about, you know, building on a budget for yellow in OP-05. Part 2 of this video, I'll just literally be playing out matches using these budget lists. Okay, so how expensive do you think these lists are? I know they're about the same as what we saw before, but you know, I added Beige down here and I added Satori down here to the 2K counters for Enel. Okay, there you go. $23, $31. Now, there's no shipping and handling in here, guys. I don't know how to calculate for that, but you got to do the math, because the more you can find from a individual buyer that has, like, you know, $5, if you know, on TCGplayer.com, it's like if you spend over $5 with certain buyers, it's like no ship, it's free shipping and handling. So I can't really calculate for all that, but the point is these are extremely cheap. And a lot of these cards you could probably bum off people, like I said, like Thunderbolts. I think Thunderbolt is a common. All these vanilla cards are commons, and you know, you guys get the point. Okay, if you're looking to upgrade, so the first easiest deck to upgrade is definitely Katakuri. Katakuri is the easiest one to upgrade because just right away you add these cards, and they're relatively cheap. $4 a card in Perospero, $4.50 for Charlotte Linlin. And honestly, guys, you can actually get away with running like 3 of each. You don't even have to go up to 4 Perosperos, though it does help. It's very nice to have 4. You can run 3 of these and even down to 2 Charlotte Linlins if you need to. But let's just say you buy 3 and 3 to start. Okay, so that's 6 times 4 is $24. Let's say it's $25, $50 because of this. Okay, add 25 to this, and you're still just under $50 for like the gross cost of it. Well, not counting the shipping and handling, like I said. And then, if you add these 2 pieces to the list, now I understand people want to see Sanji. That's $10. Sorry, guys, my head's in the way. I understand Sanji is a very good include in the deck, and so is Katakuri. We'll talk about in a minute. Cracker, honestly, you can get around. You can get away from running Cracker, and you can, for the most part, you can replace Sevenlin with an L. Like that, that's fine. Cracker is easily replaced by even Ohm, even the Ohm package, but more apples to apple. Like trying to do a 1-to-1 comparison, I think Cracker and Smoothie are easily interchangeable. And with Sevenlin, same thing. Enel's almost the same thing. It's different. That's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but for the cost it is. You can swap out 7 costs 8K with a strange effect for just a 7 cost 7K that has Rush. You know, that's fine. Katakuri, though, it's just something you're going to have to bite the bullet on if you decide to go further with a yellow list, if you want to be super competitive. But otherwise, this Perospero and Linlin, that is like the main thing you need to take this list up here in the top from like high C tier, low B tier with the way it is currently on a budget, all the way into A tier, like almost S tier. In all seriousness, guys, almost S tier. Okay. Scooch up my chair. And now is pretty straightforward as well. And we're about to look at 2 lists that did very well, that won tournaments. And you'll kind of see, you'll notice how close these are. For those who don't know what this card is, Carmel, this 2-cost card, that is a 2-cost, 1,000 power, 1,000 counter draw card. On play, draw card, that's it. It's on play on your turn because the trigger is, I think the trigger is you can play this card and KO a 2 or less. But since it's not on your turn, you'd be activating a trigger, it'd be on your opponent's turn, then you don't get the draw card effect. Okay, good stuff. And if you have any comments or questions, please don't hesitate to ask in the comment section down below. So these are first place decks right here. Again, let's just analyze it card by card real quick. Sorry about the quality again, guys. It's because I'm zooming in on this slide. Charlotte Pudding. This was already in the deck we talked about. Perospero and Linlin. I think these are very, very important cards to get. And these are the first things I would put money down on after getting the basic, you know, cheap budget part of the deck. Cracker, easily replaced with Charlotte Smoothie. Make sure the music's still going, guys. There we go. Sorry about that. Easily replaced with Charlotte Smoothie. Sanji is a very niche spot. It's going to be hard to replace Sanji. I'm going to be honest. It's hard to replace that. But just find, you know, this could be your 4-cost 6K right here, your Charlotte Opera. I would play that in that place. Beige is very cheap. You can afford that on a budget. Well, so for the 8-cost, I would replace this with your 6-cost 8K Sparrow. For the 7-cost Lin, I would replace this with Enel. Or if you want to keep it Big Mom Pirates, you can just replace this with the 5-cost 7K Randolph. And last but not least, you know, like I said, Sanji could be the 4-cost 6K. Satori you can run in the deck already. Gadatsu you can already run in the deck. And then these are the first cards that I would pick up, guys. These are the first ones I'd pick up at whatever price you can and just slowly get them over time, trade for them, beg for them, you know, all that good stuff. Okay, and then everything else is very affordable. You could basically make this deck work the way we were saying, like by changing out certain cards, make it a $50 deck that can compete at a locals for sure. Same idea here. Same exact thing here, guys. Swap out these crackers for your, what's it called, the smoothies. Swap out the Sanji for the 4-cost 6K. Yamato and Katakuri and Enel are very, very important. I cannot stress that enough. They aren't replaceable, so to speak, for the effect they do, because they reactivate your leader's effect. That's why they're very important. So there really is no clear replacement for these. There are cards similar, like one card is called, I think it's called like Soul Pocus. Yeah, it's a 5-cost card that has Charlotte Lin the 7 costs effect built in. But these are, you know, this deck is very solid, but it is very pricey, as you can tell. 3 Katakuris, 4 Yamatos, 2 of the Lins, and it is still running the Enels, so you can't even really replace the Lins with the Enels that already runs those. But for the time being, like I said, vanillas go a long way, guys. Vanillas go a long way. Okay, like, so in other words, you'd swap out the Katakuri with the 6 costs. I think my power just flickered. Sorry, guys. It's pretty nasty weather here in Florida today. I do apologize for that beeping there. Okay, but that is the list as you see it there. And guys, that's about it for this video. Perfect timing for that. That was almost like an alarm clock saying, all right, this video is over. So part 1 is done. This is how to build on a budget. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions, anything like that, please put them in the comment section below. And what was I going to say? Yeah, that's about it. Hope you guys enjoyed. And in part 2, we're going to be playing out the lists that we showed. I'm going to be playing out these 2 lists right here for Katakuri and Enel, and I'm going to be playing out these 2 as well. I have one list I have one game of Katakuri with this list and the other list, one game of Enel with this list and the other list, and then 3 games of Black Yellow Lin with this list. All right, that's enough, guys. I'm tired of hearing this beeping. I need to turn it off immediately. It's my alarm. It's not my smoke detector. It's my alarm. All right, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next time, guys. Peace.